The card of the day is Justice Reversed. I'm going to talk a bit about this card while I draw on a jacket that will be inspired by the themes that come up. I'm still in a learning phase with tarot cards, so I like to pick a card to prompt a creative project, and then that's a good opportunity for me to learn a bit more about whatever card I pick. I can't say I'm too happy that I got a reversed card, but I'm just gonna roll with it because there's always like spiritual wisdom that you can get from a card, even if the reversed seems kind of scary. And this is the jacket I'm gonna be drawing on. I do like that the jacket is red and the robes that the figure is wearing in the Justice card is also red, so that's a cool correlation. I took some notes from biddytarot.com, which I like to resource a lot, especially if I don't have an automatic feeling when I pick a card or know exactly the meaning. I check there and make some notes, and I also did some rough sketches to give me an idea of how I wanted to use this card to inspire the embroidery layout for the jacket. So here are my notes. Since balance is a theme in the Justice card, I do want to play around with symmetry, and I'm going to start with a sword and a double flower motif for the back of the jacket. In Tarot Wisdom, a book by Rachel Pollack, she said, "In justice, we balance the past and the future. Through self-examination, any amends we need to make with others, forgiveness of those who have hurt us, and forgiveness of our own mistakes, we free ourselves from the past and create a genuine future. What is the wisdom in pursuing justice?" Side note, I'm using a micron to draw on this. They're permanent. You know I like to just go for it and draw straight on my garments. Justice Reverse suggests that there is a block when it comes to justice. That could mean a lot of things like unfairness, lack of accountability, an imbalance between logic and intuition, and even dishonesty. And usually that means dishonesty with oneself. When this card comes up, it suggests we need to examine our relationship with fairness and ask ourselves, what is our relationship to accountability? Our actions always carry consequences. Justice Reversed could mean one needs to resolve a situation in a way that feels right. I'm just trying to use the ruler to find the center of the jacket, and that's where I'll draw the sword to start. So this card is about being accountable and not blaming others. Justice suggests honesty, integrity, and taking responsibility when it comes to making decisions, and I guess just when it comes to living life. I think the biggest lesson I get from Justice Reversed is to learn from your mistakes. We're here to learn and grow, and making mistakes is a part of being human. It's when we learn from our mistakes that we align better to a path of justice. If I'm honest with myself and with you guys, I definitely do not gravitate towards the Justice card. I don't think I've ever made a piece inspired by justice, and definitely not Justice Reversed. I tend to want to make pieces inspired by the overtly magical and kind of more glamorous tarot cards that have a lot going on, lots of details, lots of flourish, and the Justice card, in my opinion, is a bit more simple. So it takes a bit more effort for me to find inspiration to add motifs onto a piece inspired by justice or Justice Reversed. I wanted to do a double flower motif that had some symbols inside it because I thought the double nature of it kind of echoed the scales that the figure holds. And then I wanted to have symbols because for me, an eye represents seeing and truth. And then on the other side, I have a heart to symbolize compassion, which I think are both important elements in the themes of the card. And then I just tried to make the shape a bit like medieval style in how it curves and the simplicity of the leaves, because I think that generally echoes tarot cards. There's always a medieval vibe to a tarot card, or at least this deck. There's medieval styling in how it's drawn and the clothes that they wear. Card reversals definitely tell me that there's going to be shadow work involved in the lessons that they're providing us, so I wanted to include some candles, and I thought maybe the color story could be a bit shadowy when I eventually embroider this, but for me, black candles symbolize protection, and it also leans into a kind of shadow work mood. On the front of the jacket, I put the symbol of the scales, which is also Libra's symbol. Then next to that, I drew a dove, which for me, that was supposed to nod to the figure's little white shoe that pokes out from under the robe. That's supposed to implicate spiritual morality, whatever that means for you. I went with a white dove because I love doves. And then I also wanted to add some snakes because I thought the braiding on the figure's robe looked like snakes, and I think snakes are also a symbol that correlate to Libra, but I'm not 100% sure of that. I just generally like adding snakes to my work. They're a symbol of the goddess. On the pockets, I went with a red flower because when I held the card up and it was reversed, the shape of the red robes to me looked like a cupped flower. Originally, I was going to put an anatomical heart inside the flower, but I decided to separate them and use them as, I wanted to use them as mirror images so that there was still an element of symmetry. The heart for me symbolizes also a sort of compassion and truth. The anatomical heart makes it a bit more human than a cartoon heart, and it's also a bit of a signature of mine. I toyed around with the idea of putting some symbols on the sleeves, like columns, since she sits between two columns on the Justice throne. Ultimately, I decided not to because I don't want to have to take apart this entire jacket or embroider into the lining. So I'm going to stop with the drawings that I have and leave it at that for now. If I change my mind, I can always add more. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little card of the day drawing prompt, and I hope you are all doing well out there. Have a great rest of your week. Bye, guys.